Toastmaster, Toastmasters, and fellow guests. On August 16th, 2009, the Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt ran a world record of 9.58 seconds in the 100-meter dash, taking 41 strides total and reaching a top speed of 27.28 miles per hour. And when you hear that, you might think that that's a lot of numbers for a fact just about a sport. These are kind of two different things that we don't really typically associate with each other. Like we have our math over here, and we have our sports over here, and there's not a middle ground. And it kind of goes back to like the high school stereotypes, you know, like you have your jocks with like their Letterman jackets and their cheerleader girlfriends and their cool Nike shoes, and on the other side, you kind of have your nerds or your, I hope I'm not offending anyone, but like you have your nerds, you know, like stereotypes with like the suspenders and the big glasses and maybe a pocket protector with a calculator in it. And it's just sort of like, in the high school setting, these two sides don't come together very often. Like athletes don't like math and mathletes don't like sport. They kind of don't mix together, but I like this topic for the whole meeting tonight about the garden of the mind. And I think myself as a thinker, and I always sort of had this seed, I guess, thinking about how maybe math can be used in sports. So that's what I'm talking about tonight. There's this popular quote that athletes love to use a lot. It's from the movie, well, it's not from the movie Coach Carter, but it's from there. It's originally written by a spiritualist author, but it's used in Coach Carter, and it says, "Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure." And I really don't like it when athletes use this quote, because first of all, it's out of context. But second of all, I don't really think it's true in athletics, because I have played lots of sports, and there's never been a time for me where I felt that I was powerful beyond measure. Like, we live in a very scientific and technological age, and pretty much everything in some way can be measured or observed or studied or timed. And there isn't really a lot of like mystery left, at least not on our planet, I don't think. And it's kind of ironic because every single sport has math components to it. Whether it's as simple like in basketball, adding up three-pointers and free throws, or it could be as complex as in football, like seeing a spiral, like how the trajectory works, or calculating all that with physics. But I think it's just a shame that these two things don't connect very much, and I'm going to try to do that tonight. So, as you can maybe tell by my goofy kind of shoes, my personal background is in the sport of running. I play lots of different sports, but running's my favorite one, so that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So, there's actually a lot of math in running. Running's a pretty simple sport. You just go from A to B, but there's a lot to it that people don't really understand. So the best example of that is something called stride angles. So I'm talking about stride angles. It's the maximum angle I can make with my front leg and my back leg. So a 90-degree stride angle would be if I could get my knee up to this high. And a 180-degree stride angle, I'm not going to try it in dress pants, but it'd be if I could do splits. That'd be 180 degrees, which I cannot do. But going back to the example of Usain Bolt, a lot of spectators and TV announcers said, "Oh, Usain Bolt is so fast because he's so tall," which I didn't really think was true, because I'm the same height as Usain Bolt. We're both 6'5", but he's a lot faster than I am. So I started thinking, like, what's going on here? Like, it's not just because he's tall. Otherwise, I'd be up there with him in the Olympics winning gold medals. But I'm not, I'm here. And I want to understand why runner A can beat runner B on a consistent basis. So I started thinking outside the box a little bit. I just think there's so much like judgment on appearances in the world of sports. Like, you think someone's going to win just because they're taller, or you see that they're a certain skin color, and you think, oh, that guy's going to win, or he's a boy, she's a girl, the boy's going to win, and it's all based off appearances. And I don't really like this, and I'm thinking outside the box, like why can't sometimes runner B change something to beat runner A and change things up a bit? So I don't want to make things more complicated by like looking at DNA or like complicated physics. I want to make it less complicated, but just think outside the box. So I thought of like the most simple thing in geometry, which is just triangles, and that's something we all learn in middle school or in even elementary school. So if you turn to the handout I handed out, it's on the left there, you'll see some blue triangles. So the top left blue triangle, that's just a sample. That's just an equilateral triangle with 3 sides. They're all 30 inches. So those two coming down this way, that represent 2 legs, obviously, with this triangle at the top. And the one underneath that, that's representing someone who would be 3 inches taller per leg than that original person in the top left there. So that'd be like maybe like Usain Bolt on the bottom and a bit of a shorter guy on the top. And 33 inches versus 36 inches in the legs, that's actually a lot. 30 versus 33, 3 inches difference. But if you do the math, that's only a 10% advantage that Usain Bolt would have over someone else, just by his leg length. So if you look at that, a 10% advantage per stride, that's a lot, but I don't really believe that that could explain all of the reason why he was running so fast. So then I looked at something else, a different kind of triangle, which is on the right there. And that'd be how much you could get an advantage if you simply opened up your stride angle a little bit. So on that top right triangle, you'll see 90 degrees. So that's what I was demonstrating. That's a pretty good stride angle. If you can get your knee, if you can open up 90 degrees every single step you take, that's pretty good. That's about an average stride angle. So that means every single time you run, every time you take a step, you're opening up 90 degrees. That sounds pretty good.